I should be.
Click that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Is anybody out there? Oops.
Is anybody there?
I'm here.
Yeah, Dom's here.
Oh my god. Right. See if, oh, I can see we're live. That's something.
Yeah. Hello. Anybody hear me?
You can say in the chat if you can hear us. That would be really helpful. That's why we try and work out what the hell's going on.
Not really. Can hear you both. Very quiet. Liam, turn your headset up.
He's probably broken it like he does tables.
Seb, am I coming through quite clear with you, mate, or not? Or am I very quiet? Yeah. Both okay.
Good. That's good. Excellent. That's something then.
Yes.
I'm just seeing if anybody on my stream can tell me whether they can see me, hear me, rather, or hear us.
Oh, Dom, do me a favour.
Yes, mate.
Mute yourself, your side on the thingy app.
Oh, okay.
Because you are still coming through. I can double. Yeah, I can hear you.
How do I do that? Where's the? Oh, there we are.
Down the bottom minute.
Found it. Is that better?
We'll find out in about 30 seconds.
There we go.
Let's hear that now.
Try that. Testing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kushti.
That's all right then. I think we're good then.
All right, no echoes or anything like that, guys, yeah?
All clear?
Here, Dom, no Ken.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's the right way around then. That's all good. That's weird. Why are you not having your same problem you had before, eh? Hey, Medieval Warrior, how you doing, mate? Can you hear us all right, by the way?
Can you hear me now? I'm just testing. I can hear you both.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, Leslie's can't hear Dom, no Ken. Liam says it's all clear. Liam, you're not listening to both streams, are you? It's just the one stream, because otherwise you'll hear me. Don't have you started Hawkwind. Ken's very quiet.
That can't be normal.
Just your channel. Okay. Apparently I'm very quiet.
Great.
Don't know.
My sound seems okay, so it must be just again your end. You screwed up again. You do all the techie stuff and you cock it up for yourself.
No, I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure it's all right. Just make sure your YouTube's turned up. Not normal at all.
Good.
Well, Liam, I'm very quiet here. I can't understand what you're saying. Oh, hang on.
Look at that Medieval Warrior. You're like that. Where's the camera?
What about now? I can hear everyone okay. Dom's sound is fine. Ken is quiet. Okay, what about that now?
It's a bit bright. Yeah, it's not really coming out very well. I have to say the camera on this this house party, it doesn't seem as good.
No, we might switch back to Skype next week or something.
Yeah.
No pictures better, Ken. Yeah, I've sorted it. I know what it was.
Right.
Cool.
Technical stuff all sorted. Should we crack on then?
Technical stuff is all sorted. Thank you very much, and thank you for your patience. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do. Appreciate anybody who's watching us as well. I've got 5 people watching, so thank you very much for everybody.
Yeah, I've got 5 as well. Like we say,
Appreciate
you can do the intro this week, Dom. I did it last week.
Oh my God, pressure. So welcome to our chat. This is Ken and Dom. Just going to have a little bit of a chinwag to try and beat the isolation blues for another Monday night. Appreciate everybody joining. And
Yeah, really nice.
any interaction, please. Just any questions, any shout outs, any kind of ideas, just please contribute. Please put stuff down in the chat down below, and we'll try and ignore it. No, we'll try and respond to it. But yeah, it's just really just trying to have a bit of a chinwag because we're all a bit lost and lonely without our opportunity to kill each other over a tabletop.
And some people have had crazy isolation haircuts.
Yeah, I was going to say this. The elephant in the room. Look at that haircut.
Check it out.
I've seen convicts with better haircuts than that. Jeez. I mean, you know. And he did that without the aid of any alcohol.
No alcohol. I just did it.
Unbelievable. It's just horrific.
Good job. I got 2 weeks off, innit?
I think that haircut's going to need a month, mate.
Oh no, it's out there now. It's on the internet. It's about to become a peanut meme.
Oh, brilliant! So I can see what you're working on this week. It's like a whole load of Napoleonic Spaniards.
Yes, it is. It certainly is. I got sent these by. Oh God, I always forget these ones' name. And
Offensive Miniatures.
Yeah, that's it. Offensive Miniatures. So they sent me these to review. There'll be a video at some point. I've got some French to do as well, and I'm going to do them tomorrow. And I've got some also World War II stuff like SS, Fallschirmjäger. They've sent me a couple of sample models of each period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to paint them all up, and once they're all painted up, I'm going to do a video on them. But I'm really happy because these are obviously my first ever Napoleonic figures, and I'm really happy with how they've gone. The whites, I can see what you mean by painting white.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
Well, I use. Just a tip, Liam taught me this actually. You've got off-white, so you've got Ulthuan Grey from Games Workshop, and you've got Celestia Grey. That's a bit of a dark one, but that one's just an off-white, and it covers so much nicer than just like your normal whites do.
Right.
With all my whites, what I do now is after I've painted that on, I come along with some contrast paint, some Apothecary white.
Yeah.
It gives it and you can wash it. I use it as a wash. I don't even use it as a paint. I actually use it with a wash because it gets in the recesses and it gives you like a little tinge and it makes the white pop a bit more.
Nice. Yeah.
You both got targets on the centre. Oh, that's because we've had to mute the microphones.
Don't. The SAS are out to get us. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why. So we've had to mute the mic, so apologies for that. But we're going back to Skype next week.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is a good thing. But anyway, never mind.
Yeah, we got it working, so we're going to roll with it.
Yeah.
But it's gone really well actually. I've painted all of these today. They surprisingly took me longer than I thought they would.
They're fiddly. It's a lot harder to paint Napoleonics than Second World War. That is for sure.
Yeah, I've done 8 figures in a day, and I could probably do 20 in a World War II.
Yeah.
And I'm quite surprised. I thought these were going to be a lot easier. But contrast paints for them. You know what I'm like for contrast paints, Dom. I bloody love it, don't I?
I know, you're addicted, mate. So what colour contrast is that? The blue?
Right, there's different colour shades. So basically, I'll start with this guy here, right?
Yeah.
That is ultramarine blue.
Yeah.
Underneath the grey primer, two coats of.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a bit darker.
Yeah.
You've got this one is ultramarines blue, but then a coat of Talassar blue, which is like a light blue sort of sheen. This one is 2 coats of Talassar blue, which I really do quite like actually.
Yeah.
It is quite bright, but that's all the art I've seen. And this one is literally a coat of ultramarines blue.
Nice. They come out pretty well actually.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with him. The Spaniard guy, he is volunteer, I think. Yeah. So he was a bit of a mix. This series Gilgant fur, but mixed with a drop of Blood Angels Red to give it a
Okay.
brownie sort of range. It's probably
That's a
coming out
really
quite,
nice colour. I like that.
yeah. And then I've just used an orange, so I don't use the orange very much, and I'm gonna have to find the name for it now, and it's gonna do my head in. Grey Griff Hound Orange or something. This one.
All right. Okay, not seen that one before.
No, it's an orange. So I used that for his chest plate because it seemed like an orange tin. My first ever drummer.
Mhm.
But no, I'm really happy with how they've come out, and like I say, very, very, very happy with the miniatures. The models themselves are bloody amazing.
Oh, they are.
They are very, very nice. Very nice. I've got like I say, I've got some French to paint in a minute. Well, tomorrow.
Nice. Pioneer.
Yeah. Got him. I've got a drummer, and I've also got an officer of him. So I've done some Becker's command stuff anyway, because I've realised I've painted 4 officers today.
There you go. You've done your job. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well
I've
done.
got Captain Mannering to paint while we're on the stream, so I'm going to move these out of the way, and I am going to start giving him a little paint.
Nice.
While we're having a chat.
Well, funny enough, I didn't really know offensive miniatures either, but I did these couple of videos of sort of what I would have bought a Salute if I'd gone, if Salute had been happening. So
Yeah.
I've got a video coming out. I can't remember what day I posted it to go up, but it's from Offensive Miniatures because I saw them and I went and had a look to some of their site, and you're right, their figures are so lovely.
They are nice.
So
they are really nice.
I bought a whole load of Spanish volunteers, the volunteer battalion. I bought.
Yeah.
And also,
so you're going to get some. You're going to get some of these then.
Yeah.
That miniature there is beautiful.
I've got them already. They're beautiful figures. They're really, really nice. I also got some. Late war Germans. And they actually sent me a free sample as well. So some Fallschirmjäger.
Oh, okay.
Fallschirmjäger tank riders.
That I'm jelly of.
Yeah, she's Jackie over there, isn't it? And she sent me. I just said to her, I've got a channel if you ever want anybody to read. She said, funny enough, we got a brand new pack coming out. Brand new pack coming out. Do you want to review those? So I said, yeah, all right.
Yes, please.
So she sent me those. So I'm just in the process of painting them up as well. So I'll do a video on them as well. But yeah. So Martin says, evening gents, like the Spanish naps. Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. I live Napoleonics vicariously at this point. Why, you just don't have anyone to play Napoleonics with, Martin? Is that the problem? There aren't that many people. It seems to be a real specialist bit of the hobby. I know plenty of people who only play Napoleonics, and then other people just don't even touch it. I don't know whether it's because it is so involved painting, or I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those things. I'm discovering all Napoleonics now, aren't I? Because I've been massively into my World War II, hugely. I started off my fantasy, and like we were talking about last week, I can't literally wait to get on the Napoleonics at some point. It's definitely going to be one of those.
It's great fun. I mean, I love Napoleonics. I think I said the first stream we did that it was probably what got me into wargaming, was watching, actually seeing a friend of mine's at school's dad who was had, I think there must have been 15 mil, and he was had masses of these battalions, and it was just such an awesome sight to see them all. I just thought, that got me addicted to this hobby.
It got you addicted to it, yeah.
Yeah, and
that's the thing, isn't it?
Once you're hooked, it's just ridiculous. But I think it is, that period is just absolutely fascinating, because it's kind of like, well, they call it the First World War, and it proper First World War, because they fought in virtually every corner of the world, all these different nations, and as a result, there's all these different nationalities you can play, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, you were telling me about like obscure nations that you wouldn't have fought, and that's what you like to go for, don't you? You're a bit like me. You like the underdog and all that, and it's nice to have an army that feels unique,
That's it, and I just love all those little different characteristics of different troops and the different uniform colours. Yeah, I mean, I love my British Napoleonics because I'm British and got to be patriotic. But I'd never play French, obviously. for the same reason. But
there's a lot of French players you were telling me, weren't there?
you know, I have a running joke down at Farnborough where I play, obviously, and they you know, so I'll play any nation as long as they're not French, you know. So
You've probably got a load of French opponents, though, haven't you? There's
oh yeah,
always
there's loads of them. Yeah, I mean, I think probably more people. Well, I don't know what the percentage is, but I would think in Napoleonics, the majority are either French players or British players. Those are the two, and probably I think there's more French players over the years I've played with anyway, who love the French. But
Seb says he's loves the underdog. That's why he started Polish Army and Bolt Action.
That's a good idea. You know, but they're wicked. They've got some really nasty bits and bobs in their army. Jeez.
Yeah, they are. They got a nice army as well.
Yeah.
They got some nice cavalry figures and stuff like that, you know.
So, Medieval Warrior says, "I play medieval." Well, there's a surprise, mate. Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what I did last week after you started talking about medieval?
Yeah.
I've been doing research into it, haven't I?
Oh, you're hooked, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm quite thinking I might need to start making an army up slowly.
Oh dear. Well, you know the figures I showed off the other day from Fist Miniatures or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. I've shown them just before we started. I painted up half of them.
Yeah.
There they are. I can just about see that. Look at that. These are very, very late medieval. They're into the Renaissance period, really, but they're absolutely beautiful figures. And that's what I'm painting right now is another one of them because they're absolutely awesome.
That's it, isn't it? It's one of those things. If you love something, you just keep doing it no matter what, won't you? As you know, you like your medieval. You don't get to play a lot of medieval, do you? But you love the period.
I love the period. I've always been fascinated by it. I think the stories there are around that period are absolutely amazing. Again, another plug for Medieval Warrior, who's in my chat at the moment. Check out his channel because he does all these wonderful animations and sort of battle sort of histories of the period using his figure collection, which is absolutely awesome. But it's just such a brilliant period. It's just full of life. But I can't find a rule set that I really want to play with it. That's my biggest problem with it.
That was the next question I was about to ask you, because obviously once all this is over and I get a medieval army up together, it'd be nice to have a game. What rule set would you choose?
Well, this is my problem, Ken. To be honest, I'm really struggling because
could we not like adapt Bolt Action to it?
Well, I guess so. I mean, the Lardy guys are bringing out this new rule set, Infamy, which is sort of an ancient set. So potentially they could work, I guess. I'm sure there's some clever folk. I did get sent or found somewhere. I can't remember now. A set of sharp practice that had been done for the War of the Roses, which could work.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people, medieval saying sword point, hail Caesar, and Petrus. I could do hail Caesar. That's not a bad system.
SPQR.
Definitely not that pile of crap. That is just utter shite. That rule set.
I knew you were going to say that. Do you know?
Awful.
I just got to put it out here. Do you know this is the first figure I've painted in about? Well, when did contrast paints come out? Last July?
Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's the first figure I've actually painted where I've started off with a non-contrast paint.
Blimey.
It's crazy, isn't it?
There's another rule set. Oh God, what they called? Line Rampant that people go on about, and I have got them. And I must try them because a lot of people say they like them. I think Hell Season would probably work quite well, but they're big battles, so you need a lot of figures. That's fine. Yeah.
All right, Dom. Here we go. Here's the challenge then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if obviously when all this stops, obviously I'm going to have all my models painted because I'm just amazing like that.
Yeah, shut up.
What? What?
Git.
Salt. Yeah. What how how many models would I need to do a battle with medieval then? What are we talking?
Well, it does come down to the rule system, right? So it depends what we're going to play. If we're playing, Hell Caesar, you're probably talking, well, hundreds of figures. To
Oh my god.
you are, because it. I mean, although they're done in blocks. You need a lot of them. But if you're doing Lion Rampant, it's more like I don't know, 40, 50 figures maybe. So that's a bit more manageable. So it really comes down to what you're going to play. And that's the reason why I'm sort of struggling a bit, because I want to get the rules sort of that I feel are decent. And then, you know, the figures that will go with them. But I don't know. I mean, Sword Point, I think, is quite a good system from what I understand, but I've never played it, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, Paul says Hail Caesar as well, so I think maybe that's the way I'll go. Because I think so, guys. You guys play that. How many figures do you play in a Hail Caesar game? I mean, I've only played it as an ancient game, and that was quite a lot of figures. It's a good game, but it's quite a lot of figures. I'd love to
Sorry
know.
about that, Leslie. I had an infinite echo. I realised why, because I had the stream open on your on underneath the page. It was annoying me. I could hear it in my ear as well. Sorry about that.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I just see he said that. He can't hear. I was talking over you, apparently. That's what I normally do in these things, anyway.
No, it's fine. It should be
So,
sorted now. I can't hear my echo anymore. We're all golden.
Martin
But
says
yeah,
he
no,
does. Yeah, sorry. Carry on.
no, no. You were saying about the amount of figures, weren't you? So
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know how many you actually need.
yeah. I don't know. I mean,
There's no skirmish set for it, then I guess for
well,
medieval.
well, I close Lion Rampant is as close as it gets, from what I understand. They seem to be a sort of skirmish set. Um, the guys from Andy Hobdale at Futsal, who did the Baron Wars Kickstarter, which I bought into in quite a big way. He's supposed to be doing, as part of his next Kickstarter, he's supposed to be doing a skirmish set to go with them. So that may be worth getting, because they're involved in the whole Immortal Gods, and what's the other rule set that they have? So that, which is apparently very good. So that might work. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll have to see. I mean, they're doing another Kickstarter with the Baron Wars, and I don't know, fairly soon, because he's been showing a lot of the figures on his website, his
Yeah.
Facebook page, and they do look damn good. So I would imagine, later, probably later this month, even they might appear. In which case, there might be a rule set to go with it, which would be really cool. Because maybe that's
No,
the
that's it.
answer.
Well, like I say, that would be bloody interesting to do that. I would like to do that because I've. Have you played? You played? Do you play video games at all?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, you played Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Do you know what? I tried to. My computer at it wouldn't play it.
Well, no, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it looked brilliant.
It's literally like you walk around and it is the medieval times, and you don't just pick up a sword and can kill anybody with it. You can't even do that towards the end of the game. Every fight you have a very good chance of dying because you are a blacksmith's son, not a master swordsman.
Yeah,
It's
I love those sort of games. That to me is proper games. I love those. So when it's just not easy. It did look brilliant. I saw a lot of videos when it came out, and I thought, right, I'm
oh,
having
it's
that.
amazing.
And I
Oh, it's
paid for it on
amazing.
Steam. I got downloaded it and just would not play. Would not
Treat
play.
yourself, Dom.
I need a decent
Treat yourself.
computer.
Yeah, treat yourself. See, I can help you build one.
Oh,
I can
blimey,
take
I do need
specs.
to. I do need to. I think if this world meltdown doesn't come to too much grief for my business, I might end up doing exactly that. That's the
It's
only
claiming
hold me.
expenses, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, not quite, but yeah,
I
God, I
don't
could
know.
get
Yeah,
away
you'd
with
swing
that.
the graphics card.
I could do. Oh, that's the first step. I definitely need. Yeah, new graphics card. Jesus, this one's about to give out. So what is? Just reading what people say. God, there's a lot of chat going through, which is good.
Yeah.
Martin says he plays ACW, but would love to see Napoleonics. Yeah, I like ACW as well. It's another period I do. Paul says 7 years war.
ACW, what's ACW? What's that? Because obviously I'm not.
American Civil War.
Oh yeah. ACW, yeah.
So
there's another period I'm really interested in.
well,
Also,
me too.
AWI, innit?
AWI is one of my favourite periods. I love that. We play a lot of that down at Farnborough.
Who are you? Are you the rebels or are you the British?
Do you know, in that one, I don't mind. I can be either. I probably, more often than not, I get the rebels. I get Americans.
Yeah.
I can play either. I've got both armies now. Probably more rebels than not. But
oh, you shouldn't have told me you got both. That's definitely a game.
yeah, absolutely. We used to play initially when I first joined the club. We used to play 15mm black powder ACW games, and then we moved into doing sharp practice AWI games, and now black powder AWI games. So I put a game up just the other day, which was from before the shutdown, which was American War of Independence, which was an absolute corker of a game. It took me forever to edit, but which is why it took so long to go up. But a really good game.
That's cushy.
Medieval Warrior says sword point. Oh, I already said that. What did you say? LC works well. Sword point, he says, is his favourite system. Great game, melee based, but takes time. Hail Caesar, I play most of my games last year. Fast, easy to learn. It's very similar to Black Powder. Yeah, that's what I understand. That's my understanding.
So it's a Rick Priestley rule set, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're very similar. All the rule sets have so many similarities.
I'd quite like to meet Rick Priestley. Just have a beer or something. That'd be quite a nice little chat.
Yeah.
He'd probably get so fed up with talking about bloody games, but it doesn't seem like it, does he?
I don't think so, no. I think he'd be quite happy to have a chinwag about it all, to be honest.
Especially if you were buying him a beer.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you can say,
Rick,
I'm
if you're
Ken
watching, mate.
Exactly.
If you're watching, I'll get an interview. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Just contact his agent. I'm sure he'd be happy.
Yeah. Throw enough money at him, he'll be like, "Yeah, I'll be your friend, mate." I think he does it for the love of the hobby, doesn't he? All his stuff, all his interviews, he loves it. And the Perry twins as well. I'd love to meet those guys. I've watched a lot of interviews they've done recently. Their bloody miniatures are awesome. I'd have to. What? They do a lot of medieval stuff, don't they?
They do everything. Do everything from biblical through to Second World War and beyond. I mean, their figures are just absolutely amazing. I'll show you when at some point. I've got the book round. I don't know what I've done with it now, but they did a special sort of book of all their work with beautiful pictures, and they signed it, and limited edition jobby. And I bought one because it's just wonderful to see all these beautifully painted pictures, professionally painted, probably by them, I should imagine, in beautiful terrain and set up, and it's just absolutely awesome to see their figures. That are brilliant, really, really.
Yeah, exactly. Leslie says you get the French in the AWI period as well, don't you? So
you do.
Don't mind being the French then.
No, I'm not doing that one. Well, we're just starting the Muskets and Tomahawks, which is another really good rule system, and they've just brought out their second edition. And so we started to do Indian Wars, which is before the AWI period. And again, that's French, French Indian Wars. Well, I'm surprised they're French in it. But it's also the Brits and what have you. So that'll be another one to delve into. It's been some really good rules out there at the moment. My mate Alex, a plug for him. If anybody wants to see the new Muskets and Tomahawks rules being played, my mate Alec from my club has done a video. His first 3 wargaming videos. He's put them up on his channel. Alec Sharman is his name. If you hunt for that, and you can see him play through a solo game, playing Muskets and Tomahawks. I think he gets a few of the rules wrong, but
who doesn't?
Alec, but we all get that. And also his dice are notoriously shit, which is true, and they were in that as well. I've never seen anyone beat it. When you're playing somebody, and usually somebody's got decent dice, somebody's got bad dice, but his dice are so shocking that he even managed to be crap dice on both sides. It was like, what the How the hell does that happen? But anyway, worth checking it out. Really,
He's never played me, has he?
Actually, to be truthful, yeah, you're right. I mean, I've only played you electronically, and your dice is shocking.
Yeah, I know. Never used to be like that. I reckon Liam put a curse on me, but there you go.
You're right. I think you're right. What have we got
He's
here?
fed up with dying to rifle fire. He's just.
So
That's what it
Medieval
was.
says Impetus is the best rule set. Okay. Interesting.
Check that out.
I need to check that out.
I got some time off, and I say.
Yeah, true.
I'll have a little look into that. Should we actually get down to our questions this week?
Oh, bloody hell! Do we have to? It's not like we're organised. I actually wrote. You know what, folks? Every week I write questions. It's my bit of the party, right? So, and how often do we actually get round to them? Very, very seldom. Never mind.
Very seldom indeed.
Go on then. What's the next question?
I got a clue because I got it up.
Here we go. Okay, this was the next question. Then, how are you managing without gaming?
To be honest with you, I would love a game. I'm not gonna lie. I am missing spending some time rolling some real dice. It's nice to roll it electronically, but to roll it for real would be a lot nicer.
Yeah.
I am missing it, 100%. My missus isn't the type of person who even plays a board game, so. But to be fair, I've actually got her to have a game of Cluedo tomorrow, so she's agreed to that.
Nice.
Which is it's a slow, slippery slope.
Is that going to cause a divorce in the household, or you know?
Oh, that's already happened. Don't need to worry about that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I must admit, my wife is just not into games particularly. I mean, we'll play a few cards maybe on holiday mainly.
Yeah, the same as me.
My youngest daughter, because she's with us here, and my eldest is around her boyfriends and locked herself in there. But the youngest is here, and she's a big gamer. She loves games, but I can't get her into wargaming. She'll play Risk, which is good, but of course, because my wife isn't into it,
it's not what the cool kids do.
You can't really play, you can't really play 2-player Risk very easily. It just doesn't work properly. So
why don't you play two? Why don't you play two things each?
We could do that. To be honest, we end up playing other things like the games that we can get my wife to play, which are things like The Meaning of Life and things like that. Which is kind of something to do.
But, yeah, exactly.
But I do miss the whole camaraderie bit. That's the bit I miss the most. When I look back at some of the videos, so like I was editing that one the other night, from before the shutdown, and I'm editing a few more that I've got footage of, and it's the banter and all the laugh you have with your mates. It's that's as much, we have a laugh doing those tabletop simulator thing, but it's not quite the same as when you're in the room with somebody, is it?
No, it's not. No, exactly. That's what I mean. When I meet you in person for the first time, it'll be different to when I've been talking to you on air.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is completely. It's two different things. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's nice to actually have that human contact. It's something we're all programmed with, isn't it? I'm getting philosophical now, aren't I?
It's getting serious. This now, bloody hell. Yeah. It is. That's what it's all about, I think. And I'm convinced that most of us who do this hobby do it because it's just a chance to meet with people who like-minded idiots who love the same kind of crap that we do, and not have to worry about
being stigmatized.
Yeah, exactly, and be people taking the piss, because it's only people who you can also take the piss out of as well, because they're stupid. They're into the stupid stuff you are. So I think it's kind of good. So I do miss all that, and I do miss the banter and the laugh. That said,
exactly.
You can get a lot of stuff done. I mean, cracking through the figures, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're getting quite a bit done, are you?
I'm nowhere near you, obviously. But you're a disgrace to wargaming. That's all I'm going to say.
It'll be all right. You sort me out of a medieval army afterwards.
Do you know what, Ken? You'll laugh about this. So you said to me the other week, you should do a video of all your, what you've got, all the figures you've got, and what you've got to paint. So I did it the other day.
Oh, you're joking, did you?
Do you know how long this video is? It's more than 25 minutes long.
Excellent.
because
That's how it should be.
I've gone through all the stuff. I found all the figures, and that's without going up into the loft and finding my 15 mils that are all packed away. Even I went, oh my god, I can't believe how many figures I've got and how many I haven't painted yet. It's just ridiculous.
You got any medieval stuff you want to sell me?
Oh, I don't. No, not selling you anything. You know I don't sell anything. That's my problem. I hardly get rid of anything.
That was a test, Dom.
Yeah. No, you're not going to win. No chance. Oh dear. So what's everyone saying here? Lots of French in the French-Indian Wars. Yeah, you're right, Leslie. They're everywhere. There's bloody Frenchies. I can say that. I think Leslie is French, so that's all good.
I was going to say disclaimer.
Yeah. Oh no, I love the French. They're lovely. Just
I don't like wine. I don't like wine, but they do cheap lager, and it's not so many.
I spent most of my childhood in France because my mum was a complete Francophile, and when they bought a house in St Malo in Brittany, and so we used to go there all the time, and
oh really?
It was great. It was a lovely place. Really enjoyed it. And then when my kids were very, very, very young, that's where we used to go on family holidays, right? Because it's a cheap holiday for us because the house was sitting there, the swimming pool and the
cushy, innit?
You know, it was great, and it was right on the beach. And St Malo is a fabulous city. If you ever get a chance to go to St Malo, it's beautiful. So it's a walled medieval town, and it's absolutely stunning. It was a pirates. It was a sort of the pirates basically based themselves there for many, many centuries. And it's an absolutely stunning place. But yeah, we used to go there, and I loved it. Really loved it. But still not going to play French in any game though. Sorry about that, but it's just the way it is. Sorry.
I wouldn't mind playing the French. I quite like the idea of something a little bit different. I do want to. I love my British armies. So as a first army I got was British Airborne in Bolt Action and that, and I'm very patriotic. I love my country and I love the country, and I'm very grateful for all the soldiers and what they do. And it feels like their sacrifices, like the Second World War side of things. It sounds a bit silly, but it feels like when you're painting your figures and you're reenacting and doing your battles and that, you're showing some respect in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You appreciate what they've done and the sacrifice they've made. And if you can sort of put that in your head, I might be sounding like gobbledygook, but that's what I'm trying to put across. It's more like a respect thing for me. I quite like if my certain armies.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think,
especially historicals.
Yeah,
especially with historicals.
But then, what do you feel about playing a German army?
I don't mind playing a German army. Not all Germans are evil people.
Nope.
This is a very true thing, and depending on what you work, controversially, you can even say some of like the foreign SS regiments were forced into being in the SS, and they had no choice of it, did they? So. Yeah. You just don't know. Every person could be, they could say they're part of the Nazi party, but they're just doing it because they're actually shitting themselves and they don't want to be executed for going against a dictator. You just don't know, do you? That's the problem. That's the thing with history. It's very.
It's easy from afar to try and put judgment calls on it. Yeah, it's not always the same.
But you've got the people that did atrocities like gas chambers and things like that. People like that never ever forgive people like that. And you'd never. Wasn't there a miniatures game that I swear this is probably a very controversial topic. I swear there was a miniatures game that actually did the part. It got banned or something, but it did the gas chambers. There was actually a miniatures game. I was reading it somewhere and I can't remember where I saw that. Stupid. Someone made a game, an indie game. And they took it to like one of the shows.
You're kidding, really?
No, I'm not. No. And as soon as they turned up, they set it up and everything because people thought it was like just a camp and stuff. And then explained what it was. They got asked to leave. I'll have to find out the news article on it. But I swear I read it on Tabletop Wargamer or something like that.
Wow, that is bad taste, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just wrong, isn't it?
That's wrong on every single level. It's a disgrace.
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
The one thing one of many things that I get on my soapbox for, and think, well, kids particularly should be taught and forced to expose to, is go to a concentration camp and
Oh,
see
100%. 100%.
it is just the most
It's
hideous thing.
atrocious.
And if people saw what went on in these places, there'd be none of this ideology in the world anymore.
I still can't believe that you've got people in today's day and age that says it never happened. I just can't believe that.
No, not me.
It's absolutely mind-boggling how people actually believe that. Let's turn off.
We got very serious. We got very serious here, haven't we? All of a sudden,
we're meant to be a hangout.
Oh,
session.
I've insulted Leslie by saying he was French, and he's he just lives there. He lives there. Oh,
he lives there.
Fair enough. That's okay. I can understand that. He can see Mont Saint Michel from his painting room window. You get that is beautiful. I love Mont Saint Michel. It's beautiful. That's where.
Is he a French citizen?
Probably has to be now. Hashtag Brexit. We're not going down that one again. No, we're going to start on Brexit as well. God, Jesus, no. So he came to all the. He said he came to all the shows we had at Farnborough. At the old centre. Yeah, sadly that's been knocked down. So what else we got here? In my 100-Year War battles, it's a medieval warrior again. He says he always takes the French. Ian plays it safe behind taking the English and hiding behind the stakes. That's the best thing to do, I reckon. Hide behind the stakes.
What sort of period was the longbow then? When was that?
That was that sort of period. It went from, well, I'm going to completely cock this up, a medieval warrior, correct me, but it's from the sort of, it's sort of the beginning, right from the very beginning of, well, I'm going to say 1066 was obviously Hastings and Norman conquest, and it was probably around about 12th century, 13th century, just after that the longbow started to come in, and it was sort of through the 100 Years' War it was dominant, and it was only really replaced when gunpowder became the thing. That's in Europe anyway, because it was a big thing in Japan still for many years. They used the longbow, but it's a fact. Again, I'm going to get on this history soapbox here, Ken. I'm sorry, you've just set this one up and I'm going to go on to it. The whole you say, oh bloody hell, here he goes again, young kid. So the reason why so many villages in Britain have a village green is because that's where archery was taught, and for hundreds of years it was a requirement in England that you trained your archery every Sunday. And
isn't that law still about?
It probably is. It's probably one of those ones they've never actually got rid of off the statute books.
And it's not enforced.
But that was it. You had to, and because to draw one of those bows. I used to do archery many years ago.
I've done it a few times.
It's great fun. It's a really good sport. But to draw one of those long bows, particularly the proper war bows, I mean, they were huge draw strength on them. You had to train for years to master them properly and to be able to draw them full draw. So they were, not something you could just pick up and just play with. Whereas the crossbow, of course, you could. Didn't need much. And Leslie's saying most churches have yew trees in their grounds for that very reason.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell him about the two-finger thing. Yes, okay. You know the two-finger story? Why two fingers is an insult in Britain?
Yeah, go on.
Because the medieval archer, an archer uses the two fingers to release their strings. And the French, when they captured archers, because they hated the archers so much, would chop those fingers off. And so the archers, when they saw French as a sort of insult, they'd raise their two fingers to say, we've still got them, and guess what's coming your way? And that's where the insult comes from.
Oh, I never knew that. That's a really interesting one. I genuinely never knew that.
There you go. The archer story.
That is a very interesting one. Oh, this bloody cap's doing my head in. I'm trying to reference Captain Mannering's art here.
There we go. I knew medieval warrior would tell me. He said the longbow was developed in Wales in the 12th century, and in the late 13th century, the English conquered Wales, and they were impressed by the longbow. Yeah, I knew it came from Wales. That's where it originally was developed. Sorry, Ken, I talked across you.
No, that's all right. I'm trying to bloody find picture of Captain Mannering.
Oh, really?
What colour was his blinking? Oh, I don't want that. I just want the actual image. What have I done with that?
So you're doing historical TV characters, and that's a nightmare.
Oh, I'm bringing up bloody File Explorer. Oh God.
It says the English King Edward I took the Welsh archers into his army, but it really became dominant during Edward III's reign and during his Scottish campaign. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So I mean, I love all that sort of history. It's very interesting. Oh, excuse me. Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
Yeah, that's right. What's your next question? Otherwise, we were talking about longbows all night.
Is there a period or a war that you want to do next? I think you sort of said that, the medievals.
Yeah, yeah. See, the medievals and Napoleonics, I can't quite put my head into it yet. I haven't chosen. It's if you get a good rule set, then it just depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Napoleonics, but I'm realising how much of a pain in the arse they are to paint. And I've only been painting them 5 seconds. Oh, there's Captain Mannering. It is black. I thought it was black.
Yeah, they're a challenge to paint. That is for sure. I can't remember. Was it On Point? Did you see he did a video? I like On Point's videos, and he did a video. He usually does bolt action armies, and he does some beautiful work, really good painting, and he's very good at kit bashing. And he decided to do some medievals to do some Napoleonics for a change. And he said afterwards, yeah, I really enjoyed doing that for a change, but I'm going back to do my first Second World War because it's so much easier to do. It's so much quicker to paint. It is. It's the Napoleonics is intensive.
I was trying to be cheeky and speed it up with contrast paints, but
I think that helps.
Yeah,
that helps. You wait till you start doing cavalry. They're even better.
Yeah. No, and that's the problem. I have to do cavalry.
You do. It's compulsory. You do. Yeah.
Great.
But
I've got model blur here. He's put. I want to start a bolt action, but feel as there's so much paint to buy. Any tips to buy less paint? I tell you what. I'll give you the best tip that you can ever have for bolt action. You've got some choices. You can either go the contrast paint route, which I do. Obviously, on my channel, there's quite a few contrast World War II stuff. You've got that choice. Or you can go on Warlord's website and go to their paint section. And they've got painting sets. You've got the Army painter sets, but you've also got the old Vallejo ones. And the early war British, I think they only need 5 paints. Literally, they need 5 paints. It's literally like their webbing, their shoes, their rifle. It's literally like 5 paints. It's next to nothing. But you can also go the contrast route. Like I say, the easiest ones to do for that are the Japanese or the Russians.
Yeah.
It's literally like 3 or 4 paints. The Russians are probably the easiest because you literally just one coat it, the whole uniform, one colour. You know about that, Dom, don't you? But you've done winter ones as well, didn't you?
I did a winter one on my website, on my YouTube channel, which is painting a Russian army in 40 days. No, 10 days. Sorry, 40 figures in 10 days. I got it right.
Yeah, take a look, buddy. But the Russian, it depends what you want to do. Germans are quite easy with contrast paints, and it depends if you like the look of the contrast paints. Have I actually got any to hand at the minute, or have I put them all away?
Tell you what, one of Ken's finding though. The other thing I would say is, which is my secret to pretty much all cheating with painting, is choose a spray paint to undercoat them that matches the colour. So I did my first army was a Japanese army, and I got. Oh, I have to check the exact spray can, but there's a particular spray can which is very like the Japanese uniform colour. I literally just sprayed the whole lot with that, which is undercoated and first coated. This will discuss most proper painters, but I'm a cheat, so whatever. Sprayed the whole lot, skin tone over that, did the webbing and the belts and the boots, um, did the rifle, wash over the top, done. I mean, literally that simple. Don't even need, you can just highlight if you're feeling really adventurous. Just do a bit of highlighting on the raised bits of the uniform, but just spray in the right color. And I've done that with ancient armies, just like a Gallic army, which is mainly skin. I've got the Citadel's barbarian flesh, is it? I think it is. And just literally did it with that, and then just same principle, just pick out the bits of trousers they're wearing, the weapons, put a bit of wash over them, and they're done. And it's easy. So that's my cheaty rig.
Very is indeed. That's the German I've got there. I'll try and hold him up without. That's the German in contrast. It just depends if you like the look. That's the British. I'd do this one a bit differently next time. Not such a darker uniform colour. I'd go with a light. I used a grey, I believe. For the undercoat, I'd probably use the Wraithbone colour that Games Workshop do, and do it with Gargant fur instead. But you're never going to get a perfect colour match if you do contrast. If you just want something tabletop standard, there's nothing wrong with the contrast paints. Absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, I love contrast. I have to say I was a real cynic. I didn't think it was skeptic, that's the word, about contrast paints, but they are very, very good. I find them really useful.
It's my iodine yellow. So I mean, I just use them all the time now, just for little jobs.
Yeah, agreed. Paul says do Prussians if you're doing Napoleonics. Really simple uniforms. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah, I think you've just got to find a process with painting, whatever it is that works for you, and you're happy. And the biggest thing is you've got to have the right. You've got to be satisfied with your figures and not constantly compare yourself to other people's painting and what they do, because you'll always find, it's like everything in life, you'll always find people who are better at it than you are. And if you're happy with what you've done, and it's you will improve as you paint, but if you're relatively happy with what you've done and it looks good from 3 foot, jobs are good.
Yeah, okay, sort of thing.
Yeah,
exactly that.
Boris Johnson is in intensive care. Oh, yeah. It's interesting.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Wow. God, every time we do one of these streams, something like that happens.
Jesus.
So what else have we got here? Changing the mood up. Lost me questions now. I know the answer to this one, Ken. Sell or hoard? What are you?
Sell. Every time. Every time. I used to be hoard, and then I got very depressed about it and thought, sod that, I'm not wasting money. And that's just my own opinion. I feel like it's a waste of money if it's just sat there. I've spent the money. I'd rather spend it on something else than just have it sitting there in plastic, I think. But again, that's very, very skeptical, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm the opposite. I'm a complete hoarder.
Yeah.
I can't resist. Oh, Leslie says he can't hear you again.
Oh.
It's weird.
Oh, too far from the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, I probably knocked it. I probably knocked it. Sorry.
So yeah, I'm a hoarder. And I say you'll see the video if I can be brave enough to put it up and show it, as long as my wife doesn't see it, because I am a complete hoarder. And part of that is I've been wargaming for so long that I find that periods and figures that I haven't used for 10 years or so, I think they come back in fashion almost. You know, some of them are pretty horrible figures, but still, you know, I still use them, right? So
That's it. At the end of the day, yeah, I'm talking about models that I haven't painted and that are still in a new on sprue.
oh, okay, yeah,
I'm not talking about models that I've painted and stuff like that. Even though I have sold some models I've painted, and that's been Warhammer 40k.
yeah,
But I've still got 3 or 4 other armies of Warhammer 40k. I haven't completely dropped out of it, if that makes sense.
yeah.
I've still got something there as a backup. So it's one of those. It's just an individual thing, I think, isn't it? Really?
It is, and also it's, you know, it's a money thing. Let's be honest. It's a, you know, clean. I hate to think how much money I've spent on wargaming over the years, and it's a
Oh, I
way of
know how much.
recouping. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a, you know, it's a way of recouping some of that money and then investing, and then putting it into another period. That's true. So I get that. It's also a space thing. Not everybody's got the space to keep them all. You know,
I haven't.
thousands and
Definitely
thousands of
not.
figures. It's tough, isn't it?
No. A lot of our stuff lives over at Liam's house for like the actual terrain because he's got a bigger house. I couldn't have that in my house. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, I'm lucky because I've got plenty of space. You know, got a fairly big house. We had most of mine, even then, most of mine are packed away in the garage and in the loft because it's just, you know, it's not feasible to keep them all out. One of the things that, and I want badly when we do finally move somewhere else is a proper wargaming room. Where I can
Yeah.
just, you know, this room I'm in here, this is my study where I work every day. I put cabinets up around which have got a lot of the sort of current figures that I'm using most in.
Yeah.
But I would love to have
But
everything.
it's not It's not your own war
It's
gaming
not a
room, is it?
wargaming room. No, no.
No,
That's not.
I've got the same situation. I'm in a second bedroom,
Mm.
and I have like the desk at the end,
Yeah,
and a little bit more, just only a tad. It's not the whole room or anything like that. It's definitely one of those things that's quite high on my agenda when I move house. To make sure I've either got enough room for a studio in the house, or I can build something in the back garden like a summer house, but
yeah.
make it into an actual proper studio. Because obviously the lads at work give me a hand and shit. But well, they will now. They will now anyway. I've said that. Otherwise, I name and shame them. But
Yeah, it's. I think it's. I mean, it's great. I think I mentioned Perry. One of the Perry twins put up a video the other day of his wargaming room, and I was just like, oh, such
it's
envy.
like is very jealous. But he does it every day, doesn't he?
Yeah, and
Well,
it's
we
his
do as
career.
well in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That's what he does for a living. So
yeah, exactly. It's his job, and you know, that's yeah, it's important from that point of view. And I guess a lot of the photo shoots probably happen in those rooms as well. So when they're doing pictures of new figures and that sort of thing. So I get that.
I would suspect so. Um, I would definitely suspect that is the case. I'm just trying to see what colour that is. Captain Mannering.
Captain Mannering. So what's yeah, Leslie? She does know. You're quite right. No, you don't manage to get anything past a woman, in my experience.
No, my missus is not stupid in the slightest.
Also, it's a bit of a
She
dead
know.
giveaway when packages just keep arriving day after day after day, and that really, it's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, you got no real thingy for it, have you?
Not really, not really. You know,
There's no real cover.
but you know, we all have our little hobbies and things we love to do, don't we? Keeps me out of mischief.
We certainly do. Either that or go down the pub every night.
Well, do you know, that's what Elaine said to me many years ago. She said, you know, I've come to terms with living with that. She was used for years. She'd go, I live in a house full of thousands of men. You know, it was a bit of a joke. And she said, but I've come to terms with that because at least you're not just down the pub every night. You're, you know, at least home, even if you sitting with your head in a book or painting or whatever it may be. So it's kind of one of those things.
Exactly. out playing the field, as it would be
Yeah.
called.
Who would have us?
They haven't got to worry about losing us. Right.
Ah, well. So what else we got here? Yeah, or if you join the golf club for a year, that's for sure. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, that's it.
That's an expensive hobby.
What we got here? Just British uniform, black flesh wood. Yeah, exactly. What's Model Blur said? For British Army, I find a limited selection, and as I am getting started, I wish to start a set with the British instead of US. For the British, I find limited selection. As I'm getting started, I wish they had a starter set with the British instead of. They do have a starter set with the British.
Yeah,
They got two.
Yeah.
They got no three. They've got the British 8th Army. They've got the British Airborne, and they have the British Normal Army. With the British Airborne set, you could be Polish Airborne instead because they come with the heads. The 8th Army set's one of the cheapest they do. Normal British Army, it's just normal, like you say. Depends what period, if you're going early or late war. But they do have, the British have a hell of a lot you can do with, really. You could do a Home Guard Army. There's models for that. There is... I'd say the British Army, like the Germans, is one of the most versatile ones you could do.
I think it's got to be British, American, or German are probably the most versatile.
Yeah, you got Royal Navy stuff that I've done videos on. I've just literally released a video on that one, haven't I? That one's just come out.
You have. Yeah, you have. I mean, I think that unless you go for the really obscure, smaller nations, let's say, rather than obscure, in bolt action, you've got pretty much every, there's all sorts of options out there. And one of the things you talk about, Ken, I know, is, you don't have to go and buy the Warlord stuff.
There's
no. Countless other manufacturers out there. They've got
there's loads
of decent figures.
Assault Group Miniatures, there's a plug for them because they're bloody awesome. I've got some Japanese from them. I'm painting them as well at the minute because I've got everything primed because I'm a good hobbyer. Right.
Oh my God, Ken. Whatever.
There he is, mate.
Hey, good stuff. You done him.
There's Captain Mannering in his uniform. Finitoed.
He's pretty good, he is. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm happy with him.
Good job.
I'm just going to flick some of that crap off of him.
Do you know what? I can actually beat you tonight for the first time. I've done 5 figures in the time it took you to do that one. There we go. Can I show them off? There you go.
You've done 5?
I've done 5 medieval knights. Ooh. Go drop them. There you go.
And I've done Captain Mannering.
Yeah.
That's done. For Beckett. That's for Beckus, Paul Beckus. Yeah, Paul. Hopefully it's an okay quality. You can actually see it. Probably not, but I apologise. I've done it for you, mate. I hope you're doing well. And speedy recovery, please. That'd be the best thing to hear, wouldn't it?
I certainly would. Well, from what Nick at British Legion was saying, the operation went well, and he's back at home recuperating. So fingers crossed, he'll be back doing videos very shortly. Right.
What we got here? There is British Army World War II Games paint set, 6 colours in 17mm bottles of Vallejo. He'll finish them tomorrow, Ken, with the highlights. No highlights. I got to admit, I do highlight paint. I very rarely, very very rarely. I won't. I don't see the point personally.
Again, my cheaty way of highlighting: get dry brush. Just dry brush over the top.
Yeah,
put your wash on, then just dry brush it over the top, and
I'll tell you what, I am bloody happy with that Captain Mannering because I've done some early war British in normal coloured uniforms, and a shame I haven't got one. But I can just look at that model now and see where I've come in a year or a year and a half since I did that other one, and my God, it's so much better.
Yeah, you look good from what I can see from there.
Yeah, I'll put some pictures on the Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook after this, so you can check them out. But what should I paint next? So you've obviously got Captain Mannering with civilian clothes. I'm gonna leave that for the minute because the only reason I'm going to leave it is because I'm going to need to airbrush, and the airbrush will make so much noise.
Oh, that's good
I'm
news.
gonna-
Paul's just said in the chat that apparently Becca's dropped into Ken's paint along this morning.
Oh, okay.
So he struggled, but it seemed okay on the whole. That's good news. That's good.
Oh, good.
Excellent. I'm pleased to hear that. Really pleased to hear that. All the stuff that's going on in the world, but it's nice to know when there's some good news. Isn't it? That's the next one I'm working on, Ken. Can you recognise that?
Hold it straight. That is a ship. That's a Victory.
It is the Victory. It is Victory.
I've been on that ship many a times down in Portsmouth.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool. Have fun with that, mate. I'll tell you what. I've been really putting off doing my ships. They're a ball ache to paint.
They certainly are. They are.
They look like they should. They look like they should be so quick, and they're so not.
No, they're not.
Do you
They're
know
a bitch, and then you think you got them all done, and then you have to try and rig the damn things.
They are, mate. As mine. That's the one I'm working on at the minute. Oh, that's what I was going to ask
nice.
you, Dom.
Mm.
That's what I was going to ask you, right? Right.
Yeah.
I've got one here with the rigging on. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got the sheets to put the sails. How do I know which sail goes with which bit?
The easiest way. Let me find it. I'm trying to remember now because that's well since I did my other ships. So on the pack, what's that? Is that a brig?
Yeah.
That's a brig, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brig. Yeah.
So I think with the brig, it's the bigger sail is at the front. I think if I remember rightly. Actually, bear with me. I'll find one of my brigs in a minute. Oh.
I've scared him away. The simplest way is to use washes, not paints. Yeah, that is a contrast paints all over for me. I treat them as washes some of the times. I definitely enjoy using contrast paints, but yes. Shall I finish doing this? Where's that bloody Gorgantha? What the hell has gone?
There we go. That's one of my brigs there.
Oh, getting a bit of humming from you.
Oh, can you hear me? Oh, it's
Yeah,
probably
you're humming.
my phone's close by, that's why. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. Yeah, so it's actually on the brig, it's very different. They're pretty much the same size, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
They are
to
different.
be fair, they
There
are.
is- Yeah.
Do you know what? I can't remember, Ken. I can't remember at all. I think,
No.
looking at this, it looks like the bigger one is actually the back one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some more investigating.
I don't know. I haven't kept any of the instructions. I can't remember. Because on the three masters, it's fairly clear. You've got the foremast, the main sail, and then the mizzen. So the fore obviously goes at front, and the mizzen at the back.
Yeah.
But I can't remember on the brigs.
You've definitely got a power supply near your USB
Have I?
or something.
Is it just because I moved? Probably. Is that working any better?
No, you are humming. You are definitely humming.
Oh. I wonder why that is all of a sudden.
When you sit back, it must be your phone, mate. Where's your phone?
Phone's
Miles
over.
away?
Yeah, it's way over there. Let's always try to get. Oh. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder why that was.
What the heck?
I was sitting forward, so I don't know whether that was what it was. How weird.
Have a look at Warlord. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's actually not a bad shout, actually. I didn't think of that. Silly me. Silly me. Right. Shall we paint one of these Japanese from the assault group, or shall we do another Napoleonic?
Do another Napoleonic.
Git.
Oh dear.
Bucker. I've got to do a French one now. Right.
So what else you got here? So, I've probably covered this one question already, Ken. But what's the first game you'll play when you can get back to playing properly on the tabletop?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. It'll probably be with Liam. it'll probably be bolt action because it's been a long time since we've had a game of it.
Yeah.
We have been playing. Well, we played a game of Lord of the Rings, which was really fun. But we've also got the Walking Dead. Liam's painted those in grayscale.
All right. Mm-hmm.
All Out War. We got a really good bargain up at Mantic. We got the collector's edition, which is £100, but in Mantic they had a load of damaged boxes. Literally, it was like a little tear on the box, and they reduced them to £50 each.
Blimey.
So they're like, yeah, so like half price. I was like, okay, I'll have some of that.
Blimey, that's a good deal.
That is a bloody good deal. So we'll probably end up playing some of that. I can imagine. So just depends where or when we're playing, really. Or we'll come up and see you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're playing. To be fair, I really wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. I would love to. I would like to play Black Seas at some point. Definitely. I'm definitely interested in giving that a go.
Yeah. In fact, the weekend, the Friday when everything, the Friday after the Monday when they shut everything down was we were supposed to play our first game of Black Seas in a long time, which was a real shame because I was looking forward to that because I haven't played it for a bit, and it's a good game. It's I really really like it. It's one of those. I don't like an old broken record here, but it's kind of one of those games that's really simple to play, but very hard to master, and just have enough of the historical flavour to make it entertaining. That's what I felt about it. I really enjoyed it. It's a lovely model, that Victory. It really is.
It's resin as well, yeah.
It is, yeah. I've got that one. I've got the I don't know why I'm looking around here. They're downstairs. I've got the Royal Sovereign, and I've got another first rate. So I need to do them, and that is everything done for my Black Seas. I've got so many ships that I'm never going to.
There you go. You conquered it. You conquered the Black Seas.
Yeah,
that's an achievement.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got so many, and I've quite enjoyed them. I found a German company actually that does metal ones, right scale and everything, and really nice ships as well. And they do a lot of the smaller ones like the schooners and little yachts.
I was meant to ask you about those because I wouldn't mind getting hold of some of them.
I'll dig out the contact details. I can't remember the top of my head who they are, but they're really good. And they came over. They came in a like an old DVD box, which is a great way of transporting them. They're really nice models. I have to dig it out. I can't remember the top of my head what they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, down to 4 viewers.
Ken, do the drum major for the old guard. What the hell is that? I know what the old guard are, but what is it? I gather the drum major is the guy with the drum.
He's the basically in charge of the band. Yeah.
What is this model I'm doing? I have no idea what this one is.
He looks like a sapper.
He's got an axe.
Yeah, he'd be a sapper. So certainly in the French army, I can't remember where it was in every army, but I'm not that much of a nose on Napoleonics. But they used to have a sapper in each company whose job was basically to break down defences and that kind of stuff. And so he carried an axe, and it was sort of actually it must be in all armies because actually if you look at the lifeguards, there's a sapper in the even today in the lifeguards, there's a sapper who carries an axe. And it's just that was their ceremonial, function.
Yeah. Here's one for you. I'll tell you, with the scale of that, he's a big bloke compared to, say, the drum. Go with the drum there. You can just tell straight off the bat that he is a bigger man.
He's a chunky monkey. Yeah. Well, remember, drummers were mainly boys.
Yeah.
They were drummer boys for a reason. So, and actually, I think the Grenadier Guards initially were some of the biggest men they could find. And then they also had to have done, I can't remember now exactly. Again, I'm not that much of a nose, but to be in the Old Guard, you had to have been on something like 10 campaigns or 10 and fought in 3 battles to even be allowed into the Old Guard, which is why they were the elite of the elite.
Yeah. That's it. I'll tell you what, getting onto the old Garden Waterloo films, I'll tell you what, I want to watch Waterloo again.
Oh,
I've
that's
only
a
watched.
cracker.
What a film.
Yeah.
What a film.
Nice.
I've only watched it once. I watched a documentary on it about what it, how it was actually filmed. Did you know they used Russian soldiers to do?
Russian soldiers, yeah.
Never knew that. It's just like, oh, interesting. Oh, did you watch any of that Mark Felton Productions I sent you?
No, I haven't yet. No, I haven't.
You
It's
need
on my
to watch
viewing
it.
list. I must
You
do
need to watch it.
Mm.
I sent you that one with the SS, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Oh,
Yeah.
I did watch half of that. I did watch half of that. It was fascinating.
Yeah, he's that's what I mean. He does all that history that's not mainstream,
Yeah, I like that. That's what fascinates me with all this stuff is those obscure references, those slightly weird things that you know most people don't hear about or know about. So you have to bore people about it. It's kind of fun.
No, exactly. It is. So what's the next question, mate? Have we got another one, or is that
I
it?
think that was it. To be honest. Yeah, we've run out now. A Mexican Zapador. What the hell's a Mexican Zapador, Leslie? Leslie says, I've been painting Mexican Zapadors today. I don't even know what a Zapador is. Or is that just a typo? Texan independence or Mexican American War. Oh, blimey. Now that is niche. 4 marks for niche, that is. Bloody hell.
Yeah, that is a bit niche, isn't it?
Do you know the other one, which apparently, whoops, I've just dropped a load of figures on the floor. The Napoleonic nutters that I used to know a lot of, used to swear by, there was a war, and I don't even know what it's called now. Leslie and the guys might remember, but it was a war that took place in South America, pretty much just after the Napoleonic period had finished, and they all were in the most ridiculously bright uniforms. It was very Napoleonic in style.
Yeah.
Big lines and columns of attack and cannons and whatnot. But they dressed in just outrageous, colourful uniforms. And people always said that was a fascinating period to wargame. It was a bit like because nobody knows anything about it.
No, it does sound quite interesting. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm just using the reference art from their actual website at the minute from Offensive Miniatures. That's what I've used to paint all of these, to be honest. I've just used their reference art.
Yeah.
Just trying to see what sort of colour blue I'm going to do. I might use the Leviathan blue for the French. Try that out. Something a bit different. And see how that goes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I can always repaint it.
Yeah, good call. The Wars of Liberation.
On it.
That's what it is. Yeah. There you go, Paul. I knew you would. Yeah.
Well done, Paul.
It's good. Actually, you know what? I don't think people do that enough using the manufacturers' painting guides on all the pictures they've got on their websites because they spend all this money getting these beautiful pictures done. You might as well use them.
Well, it's funny because I used to do a lot of research into what paints or what and to specific brands, but now I don't really care about specific brands. It's the shade of colour I'm looking at really is important to me. But it's one of those things, isn't it? It comes with painting so many figures. It's like I've only been doing the hobby a couple of years, but I've probably painted 7,000-8,000 models maybe in those few years. So I've done a lot of models.
That's a hell of a lot of models in a short space of time.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? No, it can't be 7,000 or 8,000. I've got to be blagging a bit there. Let me try and work this out.
But Liam's going bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, I can tell you straight off the bat, the Warhammer Epic models were over 1,000 each army. So even though they're 6mm, I still have to paint each one. That's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. 100, 200, 300. I reckon about 4,500 models.
That's still pretty good. I'll give you that. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten that, Leslie. You're quite right. They're in the back of the sharp practice book, rule book. Yeah, they're an army list in there for that period. Ha! So that's what he's doing it. See you, Paul. Night night. See you again.
See you later, Paul.
Yeah, that's I don't know how many I've painted over the years. There was a period where I just didn't want to paint at all. I started off like crazy painting, and it was absolutely shite. I mean, really, really bad. And slowly got a little bit half, decent. My mate, who I used to play games all the time with, wargaming, Nick, he was he is a fantastic painter, absolutely fantastic. I think because he was so good, I never really
Put
kind
you
of,
off.
yeah, it did really. Um, if I'm honest. And then you sort of, as you get a bit older, you sort of kind of get more resigned to the fact, well, he used to spend, he still does, spends weeks doing just one figure. And,
Couldn't do that.
you know,
That'd drive me crazy. That'd drive me nuts.
me too. I mean, that, and so I thought, well, that's not what I want. I want the figure on the table. And I always think, I always say to people, you've got to keep it in mind what you're trying to accomplish. Is it to build, paint a beautiful work of art? And if that's your thing, then fantastic, good on you. Knock yourself out. And people do some absolutely amazing works of art. For me, it's to get the figures on the table.
Yeah, I'd
Always
never
has
get a
been.
game in.
No, exactly.
That'd be the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's if I feel, if I'm happy with them and they look decent enough, and again, I think today's paints are so good with the
Yeah.
washes today. I go back to the old era of using Humbrol. What's the name? Not oils. Yeah, it was oils, wasn't it? And initially, and they were a nightmare to paint with. Absolute nightmare. They took forever to dry. There were limited color ranges. They were just horrible. And
Yeah,
now,
it doesn't sound very nice.
now you got acrylics, you got these contrast paints, you got these layer paints, and let alone airbrushes, which I don't even use. Really, really amazing stuff. So, and I've said many a time, I think the biggest thing for me, if you want to improve your painting, is using a decent wash.
Yeah.
It's amazingly forgiving.
Paint more models as well.
You crack through
Don't
models,
sit.
definitely.
Don't sit and think about painting. Just paint.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it as well. Don't be afraid to have a go.
Yeah, just paint. What's the worst that can happen? You have to strip it and reprime it.
Yep, yep, exactly.
And that's not hard.
And you do get better the more you do it. That's for sure.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And techniques.
It's like these Napoleonics. It's like these Napoleonics, right? I can guarantee you, if I took these somewhere, there would be someone looking at them thinking, "Smarmy, no, they're shit because they're full of contrast paint." You just know it's going to happen, don't you?
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, I've got paint on my models. What would you rather play against?
Precisely.
Bare plastic, or would you rather have some like painted figures to play against? Because I'd rather play against painted figures any day.
Oh yeah. I have to say it's one of my. I'd rather play against people who've got an army that's not very well painted to being one that's completely bare. I mean, just to me, just going to a battlefield with going for a game or what have you, and they haven't put any paint on their figures, that just drives me insane.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's the look of the thing that is why I love the game. It's the look of those massed ranks of figures, and then so load of silver things sitting there or plastic things, it just loses it. Don't like it. Don't like it.
No.
Don't like it. The odd unit. If you haven't had time to paint, a gun or something, then that's different, really. But even then, I'd rather you didn't. But
I try not to play with figures anymore that are unpainted.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do it all the time, and it gives me a kick up the arse as well because it actually makes me paint them. So
yeah,
if I say that you don't get to play with these toys until you've actually completed them and they're done, then it makes me want to paint them even more.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, Captain Mannering is looking bloody good. if I don't
does
say
look
so
good.
myself.
He does look very good.
He's a happy chap.
Is that the Warlords Warmington on Sea jobby?
That is.
Yeah.
Certainly is. I wonder if they actually got the rights to do that.
Oh, they must
they
have
just
done.
did it.
They must have done. They would have had their ass sued if they hadn't.
Yeah, but who the hell's gonna know? Unless you got someone who's like in cluing with the BBC that plays wargaming.
Well,
Who's gonna know?
I reckon they would have. They wouldn't have done it. They're a business. They can't afford to. They get absolutely whacked for it.
Well, it says here, photo courtesy of the British Broadcasting Corporation, not copyrighted.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
courtesy.
Is that why they got withdrawn? Why you can't get them anywhere? Is that?
Copyright James Perry Productions Limited, Worldwide Theatre, all rights reserved. Unless that's the copyright for
it could be.
Dad's Army.
Could be.
I hope so. But too late now, I've got them. I ain't returning to sender. No chance.
I told you, didn't I? Was it Eccentric Man? Have you looked at his video when he'd used that?
No. I was meant to. I am going to. I've got a list of videos that I'm going to look into, but I haven't had a chance yet. I'll have to look tomorrow. Got no excuse, really.
They do nothing else, so come on.
Yeah, I know. It's dreadful, isn't it?
Some of us having to work.
What's that?
Yeah,
I've got 2 weeks off. It's all right. I've been outside. I don't want coronavirus.
Yeah. No, Ow. Oh, well. Yeah. I'm trying to fit these. I'm now working on some French Indian war figures. Because I realised.
What happened to bloody HMS Victory?
Well, I was just getting rid of the. Molds off the bottom of it. There wasn't
Mold
much.
lines.
There wasn't much on it, but there were a couple there, so I was just getting rid of that. But I need to spray it, get it primed, and then I can start painting it. Won't take long.
See, I just want to say, if you had an airbrush, you would literally have been able to prime that right there and then.
Well, I wouldn't, because I'd make too much noise, wouldn't I?
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Oh, you're gonna get into the airbrush.
Yeah.
You'll see me use it, and you'll be like, "Oh, I like that toy. I want one."
I nearly bought one last year at no, the year before, Colours or whatever it is. So the Reading show, not the Warfare one, the other one, and I so nearly bought one. I saw it; they had some sort of show offer on one, and I thought, shall I, shan't I? And in the end, I didn't. And I don't know. It's probably one of those things. I think if I got one, I'd find it indispensable. But
yeah, see, you don't use it all the time, but when you do use it, you use it a lot. So I use it mainly at the minute for priming and base coating. So when I use it like for 60 models or something like that.
Right.
It's like, oh no, because it'll go out of focus. But there's all those models that you've seen on the Facebook picture.
Yeah.
You know, I've sprayed all them first with rattle can, the metal ones. So I sprayed them just with like just any generic primer.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted it to adhere so it doesn't chip. And then I went over and sprayed it all with the grey primer that I was telling you about. Did it like that.
Okay. Yes, I know, and I know I should do, and I know enough people who do a fantastic job
taking the plunge.
I do need to do it, but I think I mentioned this before. But one of the reasons why I haven't bothered to get one really is that I do a lot of my painting in the living room. I'm in the study at the moment, but normally I'm downstairs where my family are sitting watching telly, and I'm painting.
You're not going to be going.
Exactly. It's like, and I know you can get out in advance, and if I'm priming them, then that's different. I can do that separately, and in advance and what have you, and that's what I do with the spray can. So, but it's just the area I'd really love to use them for is like on tanks.
Oh yes,
because you see some wonderful effects, and people do some brilliant work with using an airbrush on the tanks. But again, would I do it in the living room? No.
Ken, how do you join your Discord chat? That's from Leslie. Basically, on the Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook page, there's a link. You log into Discord, and then you just join it. You'll come in on the right-hand side, and then you just look on the left, and you'll see loads of channels. You just click on one of them channels if someone's in there. I'm in there sometimes. Some of the other guys are in there. It tells you who's online and stuff. But the link's on the Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook. You have to sign up to Discord.
I need to reinstall it on my PC. I've got it on my iPad, but I must put it back on that. So I took it off because I got such a potato of a PC. It just everything was grinding to
Slowed it down.
Yeah, so I just took loads of stuff
Oh,
off.
bloody hell. This bloody Captain Mannering figure's looking at me, right? And it's telling me, Ken, do a home guard army. Ken, do a home guard army. You'd love it, Ken. Guess what? Ken's doing a home guard army.
Oh, here we go. I love it. You're such a sucker, you are.
Yeah, but it looks so good. It's one of the best models I've ever painted. I'm really happy with it. It's crazy, isn't it?
Outstanding. Oh no! I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Finding something you really love, and
yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. Did you see? I don't. Sorry, complete tangent. I don't know where it came up to mind. I know, because I was thinking about how you're going to get all the figures you need. This Warlords apparently are reopening their mail order. Did you see that today?
Yeah.
On a limited basis.
I still slightly get a trade email from them.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I'm part of their trade email list, so I get to see what's coming out before anyone. I don't tell anyone, but I get to see it.
You just told all those people on your flipping stream, you fool.
Yeah, it's all right. No one knows my email address. It's not any of these ones, so they won't be able to take me off the list. It'll be fine. No, it's quite handy. Upcoming projects.
Yeah, nice. Well, you have to tip us the wink on some of these things. Now, what I was going to say was Army Painter just did something. I don't know if you saw them. They put up a thing about they're going to be moving over and using their facility to build hand sanitizer for the coronavirus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd been April the 1st, I would say it was April 4th, but no, it was just today.
Legit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought good on them, but because they were still operating. Because I was going to say to people, if you need any supplies, Army Painter has still got it. But now, if they're going to be doing hand sanitizer, then
no,
I'm guessing not. Probably not much longer until once their stocks run out.
No, exactly. Right, I am going to show a couple of minis off before we go.
Good, go for it.
These are some I've painted up. Well, I painted these within the last week. Some Folkschmier. I'll show you them in a sec. Move Captain Mannering out of the way. Bloody well happy with him. When you just can't stop looking at a model?
I know you've said it about 15 times. I know you love it because you keep me talking about it. Good for you.
Okay. Right, there's some Folkschmier I painted. So late war. Again, Luke APS basing with the woodland stuff. FTG 42 assault rifles, all of them. Panzerfaust as well with that guy, and they're all in contrast again. Love contrast for those, for the Fallschirmjäger. Absolutely love it. So they're late war guys. Let's get them out of the way. Oh yeah, an MG42 as well for that guy. And I've got some Pioneers here. This is for like Stalingrad.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Built these guys. He's got this is Panzerschreck team. Sorry, should put that there. But I'm in the middle of literally doing some Pioneers. So this is from Warlord Games Pioneer box set I bought while I was up there in January. Really wanted to get these done, but this flamethrower is bloody awesome.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. Yeah.
Contrast paints for the flames.
Yeah.
Started with yellow this end, went through to an orange to a red. Just trying to hold him up a little bit. There he is there. So that's him. Very happy with him. I've got another flamethrower as part of a different pack. This one doesn't have the jet. It's only the Pioneer box set that comes with the jet, but I've made sure to put the mask on. I've got Germans here. I think that is an MP38, I want to say. It's not. It doesn't look Russian. I don't think it's Russian. But it's a captured. Sorry. So I think it is an MP38. Then you got that Panzerschreck team.
Yeah.
Nice with that guy. Guy cutting the barbed wire there.
Nice.
And I can't remember what bloody gun this is, but it's got some cool little stats. It's just like a grenade launcher. It's brilliant anti-armor. But it's like a pistol, and I can't remember what it is, but it's special stats in the Pioneer stuff.
Very cool.
It's got normal Pioneer. But then I've got this thing I really want to use. Bloody Goliath team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I really want to use that. Really interested to get that on the table. But yeah, I'm very happy with how it's going at the minute. I'm going to finish these Napoleonics tomorrow. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm filming part 3 of the Stalingrad board build tomorrow.
Ah, cool. Good stuff. Yeah, I wonder whether with Warlords opening up, that means... Oh, there goes Alexa again. I wonder whether with Warlords opening up again that they might be shipping out the Stalingrad book. Maybe.
Yeah, well, here's one. North Star Miniatures have already got it in stock. They're already sitting there in their warehouse.
Oh, Alexa's talking to me.
That's right. Yeah, North Star have already got it in their warehouse.
Yes, I saw them say that. Yeah, I saw that story and I thought, oh, great. But I've ordered it from Warlords Direct, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I wanted the 3B figure.
Shipping in Europe stopped in the US, and state government has called the distribution center. Oh, okay.
Interesting. It's a Storm pistol, that is, apparently, according to Medieval Warrior, who not only knows his medieval warrioring stuff, he also knows Second World War equipment.
Yeah, I was literally reaching over for the Pioneer book here. Literally just going for it just to check it out. Yeah, it's part of yeah, I've got the guy that's got the bloody anti-tank rifle as well, whatever that is. I've built him up. Basically, all the special models that you could build, like the mine. You've got the Minesweeper guy.
Yep.
All the special stuff I've built, because it's something I don't get right. You can buy the Blitzkrieg box, okay?
Yeah.
For the Germans, right? You get 30 figures or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you get 6 sprues of plastic Germans, okay?
Yeah.
Right, and it's like 28 quid. For 29 quid, you can buy the Pioneer box set, which is exactly the same thing, except you get all these extra cool metal weapon things and about 20 metal backpacks, and loads of different heads and loads of different weapons, like metal weapons, so like captured weapons. And they sell the separate. I swear they sell the separate weapon packs for about 6 quid.
Some of Warlord's pricing schemes are really, really odd. I don't know whether just nobody's paying attention or they just, I don't know what, but they are. There's some really odd things. You look at their website sometimes, and some things just doesn't make sense how they price.
No.
Them. It's really
no, well that didn't make sense. So I'd always personally buy a Pioneer set, because then you just sell the extra add-ons. There's always people going to be looking for those backpacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've only got 10 of them, because I only want a 10-man squad of Pioneers. I don't want an army of Pioneers.
No. Well, you're never going to use an army, are you?
No, I just want 10-man squad.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying to you, I was saying you buy a 30-man box set, you end up with all these extra sprues. There's no need to make a whole platoon out of them. Use the sprues you want. So use 2 sprues, sell 3 of them, make some money back.
No, you store them, you hoard them. God's sake, Ken. Jeez, you never know when you might need them.
Oh, no.
You see my problem.
Yeah, you say I have a problem. Do you know what I'm going to do to you, Dom?
Yeah.
Which you're going to hate me for? I'm going to get you into 6 mil. and then you're gonna be like hating me even more because you're gonna end up with about 40,000 miniatures.
I used to play 6 mil 100 years
Oh
ago,
my god!
but I never bought any armies.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. And
Oh, it'd be a Christmas treat. We'll have to get First World War, World War One stuff from the guys. They like 40 quid an army. There you go, job done. 40 quid.
It's great. I mean, that was what always appealed, and you could do these big bets. So my challenge with them now is the beauty. Always goes back to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it's last week now. I can't remember, but about the different rule system and how they've adapted and changed. So back in the day when I was doing all those 6 mil stuff, there used to be these big, core size battles and rule systems for that, and massive battles you could fight. And then it made sense to have all those huge armies because you could fight the whole of Borodino in an afternoon using 6 mil, or the whole of Waterloo, or whatever it may be. And it like you say, it cost about 20 quid for the figures. It would take you an hour to paint them and take about 4 days to play the game. Because the rules were so complicated, but that was how they were designed for the big battles. But now there aren't so many of those rule sets anymore. At least there are. If there are, I don't really see them anymore.
There's a World War One rule set for that's a period I'd like to play. World War One. There's a World War One 6 mil rule set, and it's on. Oh Christ, I want to say Barracus or something like that. They do 6 mil.
Yes, it is Barracus.
Barracus, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barracus. It's 6 mil, and I'm pretty sure it's on there, and it's World War One. And I was looking at it. It's like the whole thing: 2 armies, German and British, complete armies. Rule book. This is paper and digital.
Yeah.
All tokens and all that. If you need any, whatever it is, everything for 99 quid.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong with that. That's everything you need there in one go.
And it's a lot of miniatures. It's not just a few. It's a lot of miniatures. You're talking hundreds of miniatures, and definitely something that I would want to play. Well, like I say, I played 6 mil. I play Epic. I'll have to give you a game of Epic. It's not Warhammer's not your type of thing, but it plays quite well. I quite enjoy how it plays. Just so you can have a game, just to try it.
You're just trying to get me onto 6 mil, I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I just and also the beauty of 6 mil is you can play it on a very small table. You don't need massive tables, so that's
precisely. All the stuff is great for Chain of Command. You'll be able to try them out. Yep, Liam's got. I've got the rule book for it. Liam's got it at the minute. He's reading it. We do that. Oh yeah, that actually, Dom. That might be a game that we try. Me and Liam, because we haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But do you like the old Waffen SS figure here with his
with the fez? Very nice, nicely done. Yeah, I like that.
He's going to get painted up. Oh, so many different things. And it's the thing with having all these primed. I don't have to paint them like the whole squad at once. I just pick any model I want, and just paint it. I fancy painting that now. Oh, fancy painting that now. That's what I mean. I keep doing these Napoleonics, but I shouldn't really, because to be fair, I'm getting a bit bored of painting them because they're taking ages. So I need to pick a few figures that are going to take me a little less time to do. So I might start working in some of the Germans. I've also got this guy here. He's a USMC guy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
He's just a lonely figure. I've got him for one of the contrast videos. So he's going to have to get put in a video at some point.
Modelling for Advantage says the Japanese, the IJA infantry is exactly the same. The naval infantry is identical to the plastic kit with 2 extra figures and loads of extra metal parts. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I've seen some of Modelling Advantage stuff. It's quite cool. I like that channel.
Yeah, it do some great stuff. I love what you do, guys. Really good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what is some of the model from the assault group, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to paint these. These are absolutely awesome. The idea for these are bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
The guys just sat in their little dugouts.
They're great. They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
They're really cool, aren't they?
Yeah, like those.
Especially with the Japanese. And That's what I mean. I might have to paint one of them.
Who was that? Who are they by?
They're the Assault Group.
Oh, they're Assault Group, are they? Okay.
Yeah, the Assault Group. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
They're from the Assault Group. Liam would be quite proud. Yeah, Dominic, you like it as well.
Ah, good stuff. Although we're not talking about that, are we? We played a game of Tabletop Simulator on Friday, and there's me waxing lyrically, about how great that unit is. The overpriced German veteran sidecar with machine gun, and he killed it first turn.
Yeah, he did.
With his little tank.
And it was and a French tank did it as well.
And a French tank did it, even more disgraceful. Yeah. And I wrecked it away, and you still managed to hit it. Oh,
yeah, still managed. But yeah, it's I'll just show you some of the. This is from. I don't know what the quality is like your end for this end, but this is some of the other World War II models from Offensive Miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
So you got some American stuff.
Yeah.
You've got German. You got. The only slight problem with these, if you've got a bolt action army already, depending what force, and I've seen it with some of the British more than anything else, the airborne, the weapons are quite thin, so they do stand out a little bit.
Right.
But if you're not that bothered, it doesn't bother me massively. But you got, they're all metal, they're all unique poses and stuff. Like you got Waffen SS there. MG gunners are really cool. Try and get my fingers out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got MG gunners, but there's one of the British riflemen.
Yeah, they're nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, the face sculpts I've noticed on all these are really good. These Fallschirmjäger are bloody amazing. Lovely, lovely sculpts.
So I bought some. What did I buy? Defenders of Berlin jobby, some Voltstron and those sort of things, just to bulk out. They're really, really lovely figures. The quality of the figures themselves is excellent. Really, really impressed. Really, really impressed. Yeah. And the Napoleonics just were absolutely awesome. So I've got a video coming out with what I bought, and then also they gave me the Fallschirmjäger. A tank rider unit, which is just really nice as well. They're fiddly buggers to paint because they haven't got any bases, of course.
No, of course not. Liam will tell you about that. He's had to paint Russian tank riders. But Fallschirmjäger even worse.
Jesus. So, those models, they were the original, the ones in they're offensive miniatures that Ken's showing now.
These are offensive miniatures, yeah. These are obviously Warlords. That's Warlords, but these are offensive as well. The Napoleonic stuff.
Really nice manufacturer. I was really impressed with them. They're still operating even then shut down.
Yeah, they do moderns as well.
Yeah, they do.
Like modern stuff.
Terrorists and police and what have you, don't they?
Yeah, there's lots of bits and bobs. They're not just World War II based. They do a bit of everything, which is really nice.
What I liked about them is they seem to have sort of been sensible about what they're covering. So they're trying to sort of fill the gaps in other manufacturers. So rather than going for the obvious things, they've gone for things that there aren't an awful lot of manufacturers doing.
No, exactly. I think some of their Waffen SS sculpts are absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice. The detail on the helmets, and stuff like that, just the little extra details, it's just going a long way. It's like on the back, you won't be able to see it, but on the back of the hood there, it's got like the camo nettings inside, and you can see it all individually wound and stuff. Some really nice detail on it.
Yeah.
It's definitely making me think about plastics versus metals, but that's a whole new podcast. Yeah. We better wrap it up, mate.
Probably should, mate.
Yeah, it's 9:45.
9:45. Blimey, we've been waffling on with the same old shit again.
Yeah, same old shit. Jeez. Same old shit, different day.
Exactly.
But yeah, well, it was really nice to have more people on this week. Really appreciate it. It was nice to see you guys all here. Got a few more this week, didn't we, than we did last week? So
certainly did.
Hopefully that will continue to build, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. if you've got any ideas or any tips or anything like that you want to share with us, you can always check over on the Facebook group or put it in the comments in the videos. Just for like what you want us to talk about, really. We can talk about anything, can't we, that's hobby related. I'm sure we can waffle on for
an hour and a half quite happily about all kinds of rubbish. It's very easy.
Just on a side note, my missus goes to me, she goes, so you literally just sit there and talk about miniatures for an hour and a half? And I went, yeah. And she went, how do you do that? I goes, what do you mean, how do I do that? She goes, how do you do that for an hour and a half, talk about plastic toy soldiers? I said, you don't know what goes on in my brain, love.
Yeah, you really don't know me. You don't know me.
I literally turned around and looked at her. I said, that's nothing. I did an 8-hour live stream painting a North Korean army for her, and I didn't leave this chair. And she's like, what? I said, yep, you didn't even know that, did you?
Oh my God. They have no idea. They have no idea. But likewise, if there's anybody out there who's got a channel and wants to join in, more than happy to look. Well, I'm very happy to rent out the services of my very good technical man who will set it up and get you involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. If anyone wants to join us on the stream, it's it's got a channel and stuff, by all means, more than welcome. Just more voices to talk to, more interaction in it, other people's perspective. I like to think the tabletop community, we're all quite close knit. Especially historical guys. We all seem to click with each other, don't we? We've all got that bug, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. And it is a really nice community, I have to say. It's one of the lovely things I love about this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's it, mate, for this week.
It is indeed, guys. Yep. Thanks very much for everyone who joined, as you say. And thanks very much for all the interaction. It's been great to see lots of questions, lots of discussion in the chat, people chatting to each other as well, which is great. And appreciate everybody's time this evening. I know you've got nothing better to do anyway, so you kind of caught really.
Oh dear. Well, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.
We'll see you next Monday. Cheers. Thanks very much.